All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this weekly update with myself, the proud mayor of the great city of Peekskill, Rainey, joined by our wonderful city manager, Andy Stewart. Good morning, Andy.
Thanks so much, Mayor. It's great to be with you today.
Likewise. Today is January 19th, 2021. So we don't have any guests today. We just have some normal updates from myself and the city manager. We will try to address some of the questions if you have any questions as we are on live. If we don't get to your question today, we will certainly review it and try to get back to you at a later time. And you can always email us or call us at City Hall. Email address arainey@cityofpeekskill.com. Rainey is spelled ARAINEY. Or you can contact our city manager, Andy Stewart, stewart@cityofpeekskill.com, or any of your common council members or staff. You can also find this information on the city website at cityofpeekskill.com, or you can get all of our direct numbers to our offices or our city manager's office, clerk's office, planning and zoning office, any office that you're trying to get in touch with. You can call for any questions or concerns that you may have that we don't answer today. Now, that being said, welcome back, folks. I want to start off on a good note to let you all know that the food pantry was successful last Friday, and we will be out there again this Friday and every Friday going forward. It seems like for the rest of the month up until, for the next 2 months up until March. So this started out as a weekly thing when Seatown had closed last summer. Westcott, along with the Youth Bureau and the city of Peekskill, came together to try to figure out how we can address the needs of the community with that store being closed. And we decided that we would work with Feeding Westchester to serve the people of the community every Friday morning with free groceries for those in need and for those who just would like some. And fortunately, Westcott has agreed to continue this until this entire pandemic was over, assuming it was going to be over at the end of the year. And they've allowed us to extend it now up until March. So every Friday, we will be out there at the Youth Bureau parking lot right behind City Hall, 840 Main Street, right behind City Hall, from about 1 p.m. for seniors and 1:30 for everyone else. So we'll be out there about 10 a.m. If there's anyone interested in volunteering, please reach out to myself, reach out to Mrs. McDonald at the Youth Bureau, or Miss Marquette Harrison from the Westcott organization. So again, this Friday, 10 o'clock a.m., we'll be out there getting the food ready, and by 1 p.m., we'll be serving to the seniors. And after the seniors are all done, we serve to anyone and everyone else.
Now, it's an amazing sustained effort, and it's one of several free food distributions in the city. And of course,
Absolutely.
Fred's Pantry and others have been consistent supporters for food security over many years. So kudos to the volunteers showing up for the one that you're organizing with, Mayor, and also to the Rotary Club and others who've been doing this. It's so important.
Absolutely. Fred's Pantry and everyone else. Absolutely. So,
yeah, I just wanted to mention, Mayor, just, while we're talking about the special program for food, which really originated with the beginning of the pandemic, just to update our constituents, I'm sure everybody knows this already, but the COVID positive cases in the city, as it is throughout the county of Westchester, continues to be quite high. The county has a dashboard with data that anybody can find. You can click it off the city Facebook page if you want more information. The current positive cases in the city of Peekskill is 438. That means that there are 438 residents who have tested positive within the last 2 weeks. And as 2 weeks elapses, people come off that list and new people are added. And so the county is making that information available. It's really just a continuing warning and encouragement of how important it is to protect your health through wearing a mask, washing hands, avoiding social situations that where people aren't doing that, or you can just avoid, period. And certainly coming out of the holiday period, it was really hard, and folks were getting together, and the numbers came up. But hopefully in January, moving forward, those numbers will start to change a bit.
Yeah, and I also want to add, there are some I have some friends that live in the area that work in different areas as the health center and near Presbyterian Hospital that have been vaccinated. So the vaccine is definitely coming down to our area for, I want to say, the nurses as of right now. And I know the chief of police mentioned that they should be receiving it probably by the end of January or end of February. I don't remember if he said end of January, end of February, but the vaccines are being distributed throughout the entire New York state.
They're being distributed right according to the state's sort of priority list, and that has involved first responders, healthcare workers. It now includes police officers, our firefighters, who are all involved in medical response as well. have had access to the vaccine. But for you and me and sort of the rest of the world, I'm sure it's going to be a little while. And the city will continue to promote any information that's available about that. Right now, the best we can offer is the information we get from the county, which is really state information for a phone number and a website for people to go to. And I know we probably all have friends and particularly elders who have been trying to get appointments. And if we have any information about that, we'll provide it, but it's not handled by the city in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a young man call me over the weekend. He called my office. I want to say Saturday. I have the number, so we're going to try to reach back out to him soon. But he had called and said that his brother, I believe, is a healthcare worker, and his brother got the vaccine, but their father, who was actually older and somewhat sick, wasn't permitted to receive the vaccine yet. And he called because he wanted to know if the mayor could enforce the vaccine, at least enforce the hospital to give his father the vaccine. And I just want to remind people, we only have so much authority over over the process of this vaccination.
Yeah, when it comes to the vaccine, we have zero authority other than the ability to advocate. And if we see, it's important.
It's unfortunate that we can't just give out the vaccine in City Hall to everybody that wants it every day. But we do encourage people to speak to your doctors, speak to your healthcare providers, get more information, because again, as Andy just said, we just don't have the authority to make give anyone the vaccine. So, it's a priority to make sure you keep in contact with your doctor and healthcare workers.
And on that, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to mention as a follow-up, because it's so closely related, is that we have been cooperating with the Westchester Medical Center to make testing as accessible as possible for city residents. And so folks may have noticed that for the last couple of Saturdays over in the library on the lower floor, there's been availability of COVID testing. And that's an appointment-based service Westchester Medical Center is offering, and it will be there for the next 2 Saturdays at least. So if you're wondering if that program's continuing, it will be there from 10 to 3. There's Facebook website, you can find the number to call and make an appointment if you want to use that COVID testing service. I know that Sun River Healthcare also has testing, and if you go over to the Anthony Wayne parking lot off the Parkway in Rockland County, they have a huge testing operation over there as well.
Absolutely. And just on a good note, myself and Councilman Riley, we were in front of the library last week on Tuesday afternoon giving out masks. We gave out about 35 of the blue Peekskill masks. We're going to spend another day out there, probably sometime next week. I couldn't do it today, but probably sometime next week. I want to say maybe Monday, giving out masks. And also those who come to get food and groceries on Friday mornings, we also give out some of the masks there as well. So if anyone is interested in grabbing a Peekskill mask for yourself, family, and friends, come on down to the food pantry on Friday morning, or the next day that I'm out in front of the library with Councilman Riley and any other council members that want to join us, as well as Deputy Mayor McKenzie as well. You'll definitely be able to pick some up. So it's just to encourage wearing a mask. Even though the vaccines are slowly but surely coming down, it's still important to follow safety measures and protocol, which means keep your hands sanitized, wearing a mask, social distancing, and patronizing the restaurants and businesses that actually follow safety measures and protocol, especially.
Yeah, and just a reminder to folks who are, watching on Facebook and chiming in. Again, the phone number for the Westchester Medical Center's testing to get appointments is available. I can look for it and we can put it in the chat. It will take me a few minutes, but next time I have a chance, I'll look for it. But people just need to call that number and make an appointment. It's really that simple. They don't need to have computer access or any kind of fancy gadgets to do that. It's just like calling your doctor, essentially.
Yeah, and so the council meetings are continuing to be virtual. So those of you who are interested in participating in any of the council meetings or seeing what's going on with the city of Peekskill, you can join these meetings every Monday by Zoom, via Zoom. So a lot of people are saying that they only see the council meetings on the actual government channel. We haven't gone live on Facebook with council meetings, but there is a Zoom link where you can see the actual council meeting. So you can check. You can check by Zoom. You can check by the government channel at any time, or you could just join us on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. with the committee of the whole meetings. The evenings that we have the common council meetings afterwards, still the same time, which is usually around 7:30. Just want to make sure people are fully aware. So on another note, good news. I know there's been a lot of discussion about the Boys and Girls Club in the city of Peekskill. Just a reminder for the people who aren't aware, I know that people were asking if the city of Peekskill sold the Kylie Center. So just as an update for those who are asking, the Kylie Center was sold to the Housing Authority about 20 years ago. So the city of Peekskill doesn't have the authority to sell the Kylie Center to anyone. That would be a Housing Authority action. But the Housing Authority has not sold the Kylie Center, but they are working with the Boys and Girls Club of the city of Peekskill. And the Boys and Girls Club is one of the most positive programs in the world, not just in the state of New York or in the nation, but in the world. It's an international program that's going to be here in the city of Peekskill, free to our children. So if anyone's informing you or telling you that the Peekskill Housing Authority or the city of Peekskill sold the Kylie Center, just, maybe you just ask them where they got that information from so you can do a little research yourself. But as of 2021, the Kylie Youth Center has not been sold. And for those of you who want to know if the city sold it, the city sold the Kylie Center to the Housing Authority in 2000. So it's been owned by the Kylie Center has been owned by the Peekskill Housing Authority for about 20 years now. So the city of Peekskill couldn't and wouldn't be able to sell the Kylie Center even if we wanted to. But we will be having more discussions with the Boys and Girls Club on how this is going to work and how it's going to benefit our youth in the city of Peekskill. Just as powerful and promising as the youth borough has been with new leadership that we've gotten there from Mrs. McDonald the last couple of years, we're looking forward to doing the same thing at our Kylie Youth Center here in the city of Peekskill.
Yeah, no, there'll be a lot more to find out about that project once the Housing Authority and the Boys and Girls Club have worked out some more of the details of it. And I look forward to scheduling a presentation, for the City Council on that as soon as it makes sense for those groups. I know that in as much as the Boys and Girls Club is very interested in bringing their programs to the city, that they are extremely reputable. And from early conversations, we also know that the City Council, for its part, is never going to support a program that doesn't continue to provide and even enhance the level of access currently available to city residents. So it'll be interesting to see what sort of programming might become available in the event
Absolutely.
that the arrangement does bear fruit, as all of us hope that it does.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for adding that too, Andy. Another good thing I'd like to share with the community is the BID, the Youth Borough, the Peekskill NAACP, and many others have already started doing small virtual educational programming around the Harriet Tubman statue. And they've been I know Just the Place. Shout out Just the Place. They just did a musical dancing. So it was just a history of African dance and the style of music that they use in statue, which is amazing. So I would encourage anyone out there, if you have access to Facebook, which you're watching this, I'm sure you do, or YouTube, to please check out Just the Place most recent video of the young women dancing in front of the Harriet Tubman statue right in downtown Peekskill. It was phenomenal. So if you haven't taken a look at it or been down there to read it or at least see it, please take time out to do it. I took my children up there last weekend. My son was asking hundreds and hundreds of questions, so it was really good to be able to teach him a little bit about the history of our people, what we've been through, and where we are today. So definitely check it out. It's right on Central Avenue in the corner of Division Street, right in downtown Peekskill.
It's probably a good moment also just to recognize and give memory to Martin Luther King and the recent holiday on Monday. Of course, City Hall is closed, and hopefully everybody had a chance to take a few minutes to listen to some of the Reverend's speeches and really just reflect a bit on how important he was as a leader in making this country a better place.
Yeah.
Certainly incredibly moving. And I think that Tubman statue is really a great place for people to go, and talk with each other and explore ways of continuing the struggle for equality for all people. Absolutely. So really, it's an amazing monument. It really is. And it's not going to be there. I forget what the months are. It's there for a couple of months, and it's actually moving from city to city.
Yeah. It's moving at the end of Black History Month, and there are some people in the community have actually reached out now saying that they would like to try to form an organization to raise funds to actually put a permanent statue in Peekskill that shows a little bit of the Black history here. But I think the challenge that they're having is they haven't decided which statue they would like to try to invest in, whether it be a Paul Robeson statue, a Harriet Tubman statue. So there's some negotiations because they both were a part of Peekskill one way or another. To that committee, once that committee is formed, please keep me in the loop, and I'll definitely share the information with the rest of the community once it's created.
Absolutely. So
I do want to remind people, and Andy, I'm sorry if you have anything to jump in and say, yeah.
No, I just want to mention that I picked up a book about African American history in Peekskill, actually at the Visitor Center for the Palisades Interstate Park. And it's probably available all over the place. It's one of these little history books, and it's just phenomenal. I recommend. Yeah. I'll find the title to it and put it in the chat for anybody who wants a quick, really amazing read about the city of Peekskill and its history. It's just a great place to start.
That's awesome to know, man. That's really good to know. So I only have two more things on my list, Andy. One is the Youth Borough Task Force call to action. We held another meeting last week with some real powerful stakeholders in the city of Peekskill and abroad that are looking to contribute to moving us forward and helping us with suggestions and ideas to keep our youth busy, especially during these times of the virtual world. As many of you know, we lost two of our community members last year to violent crimes, two of our youth. And the Youth Borough, myself, City of Peekskill, I should say, and the school district came together to try to figure out ways to prevent this from happening and, find ways, solutions to provide for our children. And we've been on these calls, about 4 or 5 calls now with some ideas, and some of the ideas we've already been implementing. The reason why I'm so excited that we have Ms. McDonald there in the Youth Borough. Another reason why I'm so excited to bring the Boys and Girls Club to the City of Peekskill. We really want to keep our youth engaged even during these most challenging times. So I'm really, really excited about that. And the last thing I wanted to mention is this Thursday evening at 7 p.m., we'll be hosting another public forum for the Peekskill Police Task Force virtually. So if you're interested, if you have any questions, suggestions, or recommendations, please join us this Thursday. And for those of you who are extremely busy, who you may work late, or you may be with your children late, or you just may not be in the mood to be on a virtual call late, you don't have to wait till Thursday evening to send any questions, suggestions, or recommendations to the police task force. There's about 5 committees, subcommittees on the actual task force that focus on different elements of policing, and we would love your input. We would love your suggestions and recommendations. You can send us an email, and the information again is on the cityofpeekskill.com website. We would love your support. We would love your suggestions and recommendations. So please consider joining us if you haven't been on one, because we're getting close to the end of this process now. It's already into January, and they have to submit, or I should say, we have to submit recommendations to the council by the first week in April. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all, hearing from you all, and having you all as a part of this discussion. This Thursday at 7 p.m. Thursday is the what? 19, 20, 21st?
It's 21st.
Yeah, January 21st, 7 p.m.
Yeah, thanks for promoting that. It will be like our last public meeting with brief presentations and the opportunity for public comment. Just going forward on that, the deadline to get our report into the city council is essentially March. It's April 1st, but obviously, we got to get it there before that. And so the public can look forward to having more information and a council discussion of the various recommendations that task force committees have come up with in March. Mm-hmm. So that's coming right up. And there'll be another public meeting in February, which will be a meeting where the draft report from the task force to the council will be available. So in addition to updates from committee chairs, the people will actually be able to read ahead of time through the committee chairs' comments and recommendations, so that they'll be able to review that draft. And then the governor's mandate is explicit about the need to incorporate any public comment or suggestions to that draft before it goes to the city council.
Absolutely. All right. So Andy, that's all I have on my list, unless there's any thing on your side.
I have very a couple just little things. One is that people should keep an eye out on the recreation programming and also on the youth bureau, because they're both offering virtual as well as some in person. There's a small basketball program running over at Kylie on Saturdays, which is a lot of fun for the little kids, and they're kept separate, just so people know. The Parks Department is very on it about following the health guidelines, and so the kids are given a ball, they do drills and skills, they don't play games or running into each other or sharing balls. And it's a chance to run around a little bit and learn some skills from some wonderful staff. So that's available. I know that the Youth Bureau is planning an intergenerational virtual line dancing event. That's kind of stuff they're very creative coming up with. In February, there'll be the maple sugaring program up in the woods in Depew Park. And that's really cool. And so all designed to give people a little access to some recreation for families and kids, but within the parameters of the health guidelines. And lastly, I would just wanted to mention that there's a temporary road closure down on Louisa Street. This is not a big deal, but just so you know, if you're going on Louisa Street and you're going to go over the bridge over Metro North, just watch out for the signs and because one of the lanes is closed. So it's a county bridge project. Thank God the city doesn't own that bridge, because you don't want to own bridges. Eventually they need to be fixed. So we appreciate the county's work down there. So that's all I've got. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Okay. All right. Well, Andy, listen, I appreciate you again for another weekly update, and I'm looking forward to the next.
I just wanted to mention, if you don't mind, we do have a question from Miss Lee about security in place for Wednesday. So as everybody knows, tomorrow is Inauguration Day, and there's a heck of a lot of security in the Capitol and also in state capitals, in any place where there's a worry that some of these organized groups that came out and had a riot essentially and stampeded the U.S. Capitol. And so we knock on wood, we don't view Peekskill as a target in that way. However, just so folks know that we're on alert, and our police department is in cooperation with the countywide. The countywide policing has a capability to monitor social media and to warn any place, any city, that there's chatter or talk about anything that could be detrimental. And so we have those connections, and we're paying very close attention, just on the off chance that any of those spillovers might occur in the city, and also on alert to provide mutual aid to anybody who needs it, as always. So, but there was a question about security for Wednesday, and I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. And then we encourage everyone to stay home.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's a serious concern.
If you can stay home and stay safe, stay home. I'm getting a lot of texts and emails about it for many reasons, I guess. But I have faith in our police department, and I would hope that Peekskill is not one of those cities where people come and want to terrorize. But we'll be as ready and as alert as we possibly can. If you see something, say something. If you hear something, let us know. Don't hesitate to contact our police department. If there's any chatter on Facebook, or if there's even anyone joking about it, don't hesitate to contact our police department so we can prevent this from happening. And I would also encourage people not to just focus on Inauguration Day, but even the day after. With the fact that it's going around the nation so fast, it's supposed to have an Inauguration Day. I wouldn't be surprised if people are fighting for the day after, just to avoid the attention from the police and law enforcement. So for the next few days, I'm telling everybody, just be alert and be safe. And if you see anything, especially on social media, say something.
Yep, absolutely, Mayor. And I know you and I are both, and I talk with the police chief several times a day, and the minute there's any notice of any kind of threat whatsoever, you know,
Yeah.
the police have a whole plan in place for that. And again, you know, we hope for the best, and we're confident that the city residents will let us know if they see anything that seems unusual, and we'll definitely be on high alert. So thank you for saying that.
Yep. So
all right. So having said that, I think we've probably run through the main topics for the day, Mayor.
Okay, good. So listen again, Andy, I appreciate you, man. I look forward to you. Our council meeting is this evening, folks. For those of you who are watching this live right now, yesterday was a holiday, as Andy mentioned earlier, in remembrance of Martin Luther King. Tonight is our council meeting. The rest of the month will still be virtual meetings until the governor's executive order is lifted. So for the next few weeks, we will still have virtual meetings. So you can join us again via Zoom. If you have a phone or access to internet, you can join us. And other than that, Andy, I look forward to seeing you next week on here. Enjoy the rest of your day, my friend.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. And thanks to everybody for tuning into this city update.